My wonderful viewers, this is KEBE and welcome to the Meet Professionals TV show. Well, Meet Professionals is a platform where I hold exquisite conversations with entrepreneurs, academics, change management experts, leaders, and many more. Well, for today's edition, we have with us an entrepreneur, a certified trainer and a facilitator. She's the founder of Nania Educational Group. She also publishes her own diaries, which is the Ariana diaries. But quite interestingly, she got featured on CNN's program regarding the work that she does, which is so eye-catching, and she has been doing a lot of work in the educational space as well as the entrepreneurial landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for today's edition, Madam Ariana OLUWOLE. So, good morning, Ariana, and thanks for being part of the show this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I am so excited and blessed to be a part of this.
Okay, great. So let's dive into it. You got featured quite recently by the CNN regarding the work you do in the educational sector and also your lifestyle blog. So can you tell viewers about that?
I think that's like one of the most valuable experiences till date. And it's a blessing for Sierra Leone, and it's never been just about me. It's about the work that I do. That experience has shown me what the importance that our work does in terms of influencing lives, families, and the people around our space. It also has taught me that no matter what you're doing in your own little space, no matter how minute you think the change is, if you're consistent with it and you prioritize things such as quality, you prioritize impact, you prioritize capacity building, like enabling other people, the world watches. The world takes note. And in doing so, consistently over time, you attract the right people and the right blessings. Okay. So for me, that experience, it literally came from nowhere. I knew no one. I did not lobby for it. Okay. It just landed on my lap, and it has really, really changed the trajectory of my life. Just added on to my confidence and the zeal
to continue doing. Yeah. Yes. I think that's remarkable because you blew the social media because everyone was like congratulating you. So it tells you that what you just mentioned about consistency, it's so important, more especially when you are creating the enabling environment for people to also come into your blog, share their stories. I think it's so interesting. But let's move it a bit. Now you are into the early educational platform. Yeah. So why daycare and preschool?
Wonderful question. I'm an edupreneur. Okay. I find solutions for different aspects of education. And Nania was my first baby. Okay. Because I realized that a lot of professionals like us, they want to have children. They want to have it all. Yeah. They want a good family. They want to ace their careers. But in the process of chasing their dreams, their children get left behind. Okay. Because we have a problem of low skills, and especially in the caregiving space. So most of the nannies are not literate, and in the formal educational space, it wasn't until last year, that we, for the first time, incorporated early childhood into our educational system. Yeah. So when this idea came to me because of my problem, my son didn't get to see his mama. I was chasing paper. Money. I started out because of him, and now it's been generations, I would say, different families, sibling after sibling, cousin after cousin, and it's grown beyond our wildest imagination.
Okay, now the Nania daycare and preschool was born out of the passion that you have for actually looking at, as a professional, having to look at out for your baby, and in as much as you're chasing money and not the likes, most times that's what we face when you have in order to be able to balance work and life.
Yes.
More especially when we're too focused on our professions, we spend less time with family.
That's right.
And raising kids so becomes a problem. So in this Nania daycare and preschool, what are some of the challenges that you face as an entrepreneur?
Wow. The challenges are a lot.
Okay.
Naturally, I don't like to focus on the challenges,
Aye.
but I know that there are people out there that would benefit from learning about my challenges.
Okay.
One, it has to do with the whole way people view education in Sierra Leone.
Right.
That education needs to happen in a particular classroom setting.
Yeah, the traditional way.
In like a formal space. So this was difficult in the very beginning. Like we would have like very young children, we take them out to outdoor spaces. In fact, when we contacted businesses, most of them would be shocked, like, well, why would you want to bring an under 5 to my establishment? Like, what do they know? So it took a lot of effort to explain to people that it is actually at that stage that every human builds all of the information that would support them in life.
Exactly.
Recruiting the right kind of team members initially also was a tussle.
problem. Yeah.
Because of course, at that time, Fabi College had not even started early childhood education when I started Nania. So it was basically me recruiting people based on them being passionate about children. And then we were blessed with an opportunity, a training opportunity with a college in the USA, and later with NTC Early Learning, a European course. So with these blessings, we just decided that, okay, when we find people, we impact knowledge to them. I cannot keep quiet about the financial aspect. Nania is a social entrepreneurship model. So we're for profit, and what we collect, we invest into different programs that we have for underprivileged families and children. But the truth is, to maintain the standard, to maintain access to these learning platforms, you have to pay lots of monies. You have to buy basically everything that we use is imported. So you have to buy learning materials, and with my little toddlers, their energy is bent on discovering. So you could get a brand new item today, and by the end of the week, it's broken.
It gets spoiled. It's their kids.
Yes. So financing has been a constant challenge. Just when you want to say, oh, praise God, we're making profit now, then boom, something would happen. Even in terms of the infrastructural space, we believe that good lighting is great for children. So we have like a great lighting at the center. But guess what? You go there sometimes and there is no electricity. So you now have to power a generator. Because the kids are used to it. And when they don't have it, it affects their whole presence and mind and connection. So financing has been a challenge, and I would stop there because the challenges remind us that the journey is ongoing. The thing I like, you mentioned something earlier just now, that when you expose kids at that tender age, perhaps to offices, so that's one of the problems we have in our educational space. Many a time we have people who are born electricians, but people want them to study accounting. People want them to study perhaps
art, right? But at the tender age, you expose them, let us say, to art. You expose them to things that will be interested in. They get to develop it right from that stage.
Exactly.
And they get to be interested in it, and at least it helps them in their building their career.
It does. And actually, we do have a program that's inbuilt within our system. We call it Career Fridays. So every
Career
Fridays.
Fridays, okay,
yes.
okay.
So COVID has slowed it a bit because at some points we have to like shut down and stop people from coming into the center. But when we can, and before COVID, every Friday, we would get a professional, an entrepreneur, or an innovator, somebody that's just the requirement is just to do good. It's just to be good at what you do.
Okay.
So we've had carpenters come in. So we create the activities for the person, and the person now comes and use those activities to actually share what they do in their day-to-day life. It'll be amazing when you see, we had an artist, like we did our own art exhibition. In fact, we're going to repeat that activity again soon. The children were actually viewing art just like this, and they wanted to touch the painting. They wanted to feel the textures. And I believe that in the process of exposing them to such experiences, you're imprinting into their mind. Oh, I love this. Oh, someone came to me like when I was little and they were doing this. So when they get to that decision-making stages, let's say in primary school later on, and they move on to high school, it is easier for them to recognize their gifts and their talents.
That's the point.
Yes. And because they have seen change makers, leaders who are successful, no one will be able to convince them otherwise. Even their parents. Because you know the school is like the hub.
Exactly.
Our kids, I am an entrepreneur. They value teachers more than their parents. So it's stuck in there that my teacher...
they spend most time with the teachers, so at least...
So even like we get musicians, and in our curriculum, music is part of our everyday learning. And very recently, Auntie Ariana cannot speak French, but my children are learning French. We've added French. Hopefully, in the years to come, we'll add on another language, just so that they're well-rounded and competitive.
Exactly. You know, so I think your model is so important. I think that's why I think your daycare stands out amongst the lots in the industry. I think the creativity and innovation is so important that makes you stand out.
Yes, Mr. KEBE, I cannot forget this. One of the most valuable tools that we have that makes us stand out at Nania is how we incorporate culture, the love for culture. To the children. So
I think that's missing. It's beginning to fade.
Yes, it's beginning to fade. So we get them to own Sierra Leone. We talk about our foods. We talk about our different ethnic groups. We also get them to understand that it's okay to eat Benny cake. You cannot just be relying on imported snacks, Pringles, that are not healthy. So our children can recognize Benny cake and peppermint.
Which is healthy.
Which is healthy. So they can recognize that this is Sierra Leonean and it is important. Because in the struggle of modernizing our world, most young people do not value things Sierra Leonean.
Anyway, so I'd like to hold you there. I think the conversation is becoming more and more interesting, more especially when we're talking about Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans doing Sierra Leonean things for the betterment of Sierra Leone. So we'll go for a short break and we will be right back.
Thank you.
So welcome again, viewers, to the Meet Professionals TV show with me, KEBE. Well, Meet Professionals is a high-level conversation TV program where I hold exquisite discussions with entrepreneurs, academics, change management experts, policymakers, and many more. Well, for today's edition, we have a very esteemed entrepreneur who works in the educational sector, who has been doing a lot of things, and quite recently she got featured on CNN's program. Well, we've been discussing her life around entrepreneurship, the challenges she has been facing a lot. So now we're going to dive into what needs to be done in order to make the space looks more attractive and more profitable for you guys who are into it.
Excellent. Thank you for that question. I think the steps are already in place in terms of what needs to be done in entrepreneurship generally in Sierra Leone. We have a lot more interest now, not just from private sector, but also from the government side of things, where you have lots of different collaborative programs that are opening up for young entrepreneurs. So, for example, myself as an entrepreneur, I can tell you for a fact that the whole technical and vocational education ministry is doing a lot of skill sets, capacity building programs that supports people like me. I have not been lucky yet to get their support. But like I always say, it's not just about what I do. So if that platform is there and people can access it, I think it's a great step forward in terms of improving
it's a step in the right direction.
Yes. Another way we could improve the space, this has been an age-old gripe. It has to do with the access to financing for businesses. For example, I am at that stage where I need to scale up. My center has gotten too small. So I need, if not a bank supporting me, I need people who are accessing the right amounts of money that want to invest, right? But you find our economy has been struggling for a while. So you can't really pinpoint movers and shakers in society that can afford to have that much amount
to invest in.
So constantly you see visionaries, entrepreneurs just being stuck at the same level.
And growth becomes a problem.
And then you look at your contemporaries in other spaces. I hate to compare, but it's a fact. You look at your contemporaries in Ghana, in Nigeria, that you basically started out together. And they have moved on to the next level. So accessing finance, we really need to, our trade unions need to renegotiate with the lending platforms as to help us in terms of the margin. Because if I go and I go lend money and I have to spend my entire lifetime to repay it, or I might have to lose one of my assets, because most times people cannot match the loan system, and they now have to sell off property.
But especially the interest rate becomes
too high. It's too high. So I would say that, and last but not the least, I am personally looking at a way in which I can collaborate. So this could be like messaging out there for people who are in the carpentry industry, ways in which I can create my own materials locally. I think that's a whole untapped area, and I've said it here, I am doing it. So competitors, get ready. We need to be able to build our own things, materials
from our own resources.
From our own resources for children. We have so much waste. If you go to the tailoring shops, there's so much fabric that's been thrown away. I have seen different solutions in that area. So if you're out there and you're looking, I'm a businesswoman.
I know.
If you're out there and you're looking for opportunities to partner, I'm here. I have great ideas, and
Okay, now, so I think that's interesting because the challenges are enormous. But if we think of access to finance, even with the access to finance, if we can have interest rate lower down at least, and accessibility to funding can also help prevent chaos and also grow your businesses in that space. So now let us move on the flip side of Ariana OLUWOLE, which is everybody knows you as that speaker, that public speaker, the trainer, the facilitator, the mentor. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people want to hear you talk. A lot of people like it when you coach them, when you mentor businesses. So let's hear from that. Is it your passion?
It is my passion.
Right, right.
I wear many, many hats, and it's a privilege I don't take for granted.
Yeah.
So when I started out in my journey as an entrepreneur, I realized there were lots of people with great ideas, but they did not have the support system, did not have the helping hand, they did not have the experience sharing.
Yeah.
So for me, that was one of the main reasons why I delved into coaching, why I delved into training and facilitation, because I just believe in the power of education.
Right.
No matter who you are, no matter the level of education that you have access to, I believe that everyone, if they have the necessary nurturing, can bloom.
No, of course, yeah.
Everybody can thrive.
Yeah, yeah.
So even depending on where you're planted, even in rocky soil, if you are sturdy enough, you can thrive.
Of course,
so
yeah.
this is why I started initially just looking for opportunities to share with young people for free.
Yeah.
And now it is turned into another side hustle.
Yeah.
So I speak for organizations on specific topics. I'm very passionate about leadership.
Yeah.
Of course, entrepreneurship is now in the blood.
Yeah.
Of course, I love everything around early childhood development, education, and care. So I have been partnering with different organizations that are looking to start up their own early learning center. Because I believe knowledge must be shared.
Of course.
If we want a better tomorrow, you can't have...
It must be shared, but the problem we have here is that we have a lot of people, they have the knowledge, but communicating that knowledge becomes the problem.
Sure.
So we have a lot of entrepreneurs in Sierra Leone who they're doing well, but we have some of them find it difficult to be able to tell their stories like what you do. So that's the problem.
So this is why one of the first kinds of coaching that I did was assertiveness. Right. Because I figured out, like you, and I struggled with that years ago, that a lot of people did not know how to promote themselves. They didn't know how to talk about what they do.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to share insights as to what has helped them and how that can transform another person. Yeah. So getting people to be confident enough and to break the stigma. There's a whole stigma that's a cultural one, where people believe that if you share, you're going to attract negative vibes, negative energy. Yeah. So there's a whole adage around that, where you yam swites and for cover. So there, even though with the blog, we have shared so many stories, inspiring ones. Yeah. Can I tell you a secret? I struggle sometimes to get people to agree to share their stories.
Wow.
Because they're like, I know I let person put TI pamio.
Exactly.
I don't want the negative press. I don't want the extra
people
attention.
People start poking their nose on what I do.
Yes.
I think that's so important. But for me, I think the ability to be able to communicate what you know becomes so important. Now you mentor thousands in Sierra Leone and outside Sierra Leone. A lot of people are viewing your blog, they are following what you do, more especially with the CNN's interview. You actually blown us away, because a lot of people from other countries, like you said, whatever that you do, always take time to do what you do, because a lot of people might be looking at what you do. So now that you have a lot of people following you in Sierra Leone and other parts of the world, you mentor thousands, and a lot of people see you as their role model. So now the flip side, do you have role models or mentors, and who are they?
I've not been asked this question a lot.
For a while.
Yeah. But yes. I do have mentors. I believe in the power of mentorship. Okay. I believe that experience sharing it's like gold and diamonds. Okay. So I have mentors, I have Sierra Leonean mentors, I have mentors from all around the world. I have in Sierra Leone, forgive me my mentors if I don't mention everyone, but
so you have lots of them. Yes, okay, right.
I feel like mentorship, it's like you diagnosing different problems in your body. So like you have an eye doctor, you would have a heart doctor, you would have a brain surgeon.
Yeah.
So I have mentors for the different aspects of what I do.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to focus on those that support me in terms of leadership and those that support me in terms of education, just for meat professionals.
Okay.
So I would start out with Madam Hawa Zaina Bangura.
Okay.
She is, she's been a pillar of support over the years. With her busy schedule, she's always there to answer my questions.
Oh, wow.
She makes time to meet up when she's within my same locality. And she shares from her heart.
Right.
Like, you know, some people, when they share, they have like things that they don't talk about.
They hold back certain things, yeah.
But she shares her vulnerable sides, just so I'll be able to learn from that.
Right,
and I'm thankful. Another mentor that I have, and I doubt if she knows that she's a mentor to me, because I believe mentorship doesn't necessarily mean you connecting with the person and you telling the person, I want you to mentor me.
Yeah, you can stand from afar and learn from them.
And learn from them.
Exactly.
And that is our city's mayor, Madam Yvonne Akisoya.
Oh, really?
I am blessed to just watch her, learn from her, go through the different changing scenes of leadership. So I get a lot of learning from that.
Okay.
I like how she's unafraid to reach her highest potential. I like how she accepts when she makes mistakes and how she humbles herself.
Okay.
I like how she can connect with everyone.
Okay.
Like sometimes, because some of what I do is for the Freetown City Council, we're doing market crashes.
Okay.
For the women, traders, and the women, the children come to the centers that FCC has built. Oh. So when I go on tours with I worship the mayor, it's incredible that this woman would be able to identify hundreds of market women. Hello, you know. Oh. Sorry, how you to do? Like, so she connects with everyone.
She connects with them, yeah.
Everyone. Yeah. So that's a blessing. Another mentor is Wangani. Wangani is not Sierra Leonean, but she's been with UNICEF forever.
Oh, wow.
But we met in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
She mentors me wholeheartedly when it comes to everything early childhood, learning, development.
Wow.
And just imagine we're in different time zones, but she makes time
for you to
share.
Connect. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lastly, for this session, I would want to give a shout out to one of my longest mentors.
Okay.
And she also happens to be my life coach.
Oh.
She is called Ariana Dubak. She's based in Serbia. I met her through when I attended a mentorship program years ago. Oh. I met her through the Cherry Blair mentorship program.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first things that I did when I started out my business.
Okay.
And when she was my mentor there, and even after the program, we've connected ever since. So she is a leadership guru. That's how I call her. So most of my learning and my connections in leadership, I got from Irina. And it's just a beautiful world of support and blessings from all of these people.
I think I need to reach out to Irina for some leadership tips, because the way you're going to the leadership space, wonderful. Yes. So now, as we actually come to the end of the program, one of the things this platform creates is to be able to allow young people to connect with you guys. And we want you to send them, what will be your message of encouragement or advice to young people watching this program from Sierra Leone and other parts of the world?
One of the questions that I like the most, I want every young person that's watching this program to start out by believing in themselves. Every single one of us, we were born with a purpose. So when you believe in yourself, it gets to a point where you start finding out, why am I here? What am I good at? Are you good at football? Then, like I said earlier, be the very best footballer.
Okay.
Are you great at cooking? Start exploring what it means to get into the culinary world and be the best chef ever. So for me, education, harnessing our skills and our abilities, our God-given abilities, is the key for me to success.
Okay.
And there is no one size fits all.
Okay.
I believe that all of us, like, we have dozens of gifts. And this is why I am unafraid to do different things. It took a while for people to understand, but how can you be an educator and then you have a lifestyle blog? That means that you have to sometimes dance on your Facebook page. Like, how do the two go together?
Yeah.
But now people are getting to understand that it's okay to have portfolio careers.
Of course, yeah.
It's okay to do thousands of things as long as you have the capacity, the energy to be consistent.
And organize all of them. Yeah.
Organize all of them. So, dear young person, write down your dreams. Connect with this show is a great platform for you. Connect with these people on the show. Not necessarily by sending a long winding email that you want them to mentor you, but just follow them.
What they do.
See what they do.
Exactly.
And learn from them. Find out the books that they read. Figure out the courses that they take.
Yeah.
Attend the programs that they go to. And that will transform your life.
I think it's so inspirational because we like it when mentors like you, professionals like you, connect with our audience. And I'm sure the audience may be so excited to learn from your journey. And for me, I myself feel so much motivated with me hearing your story today. So we want to thank you for honoring our invitation, for being part of the show. It wasn't easy, but we thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's a blessing.
Okay, so this is where we draw down the curtains for today's edition. I'm so excited already because Madam Ariana, she's filled with knowledge. And as a young entrepreneur, as a young leadership coach, you want to grow in your business, you want to grow in leadership, you want to contact her and learn a lot from her. Even if you cannot reach her directly, you can follow her, and we're going to share with you her social media handles, so at least you learn from Madam Ariana OLUWOLE. So this is where we draw down the curtains, but please don't forget to subscribe and like our videos on YouTube. Thank you so much, and get yourself a wonderful day.
Hello, my name is Ariana OLUWOLE. I am an entrepreneur, the founder of Nania Educational Group, and also the founder and publisher of Ariana Diaries blog. I am a professional.
Thank you.